We have talked to investment bankers, real estate investors. We've talked to coaches. We've talked to consultants. We talked to private investigators. We talked to artists and creatives. There are so many ways to make money. One of my favorite lines that I heard while I was here is, we're not chasing the bag. We're attracting the bag, because money is seeking us. Money wants to be with us. However, we have to be good stewards of money. And so also, while we're talking about how we can make all of this money and the compensation that these conversations is going to help us create, also talking about being good stewards, financial literacy. We cannot be good stewards of a lot if we don't know how to manage a little. And so it is so important to get exposed, to get the advice, to get the education, opportunities such as this, because then we can figure out what's the game plan. Y'all heard some of my favorite entrepreneurs that I've met. They've given me advice as a newbie entrepreneur, and I am so very grateful for all of the wisdom. Being in the room with giants, people that have been doing this for 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, is amazing and inspiring, because I know if they can last that long, your girl can too. Welcome to the Aid to Assets podcast, the ultimate podcast for aspiring real estate investors. I'm your host, Tiffany Watsons. Join me as we discuss real estate investing for 9 to 5.
Like, your work ethic should never change based on the result.
You cannot put a price tag on your safety.
When you can understand the foundation and how we got here, it will give you direction on how it could potentially go.
If you want to get some real estate, the best way to get it is to start investing in real estate. And that's what I'm saying. Tax liens and tax deeds is the best way.
So we are meant to be in movement and in constant motion, in constant discovery of ourselves. And that's why we get to explore so many different things of ourselves.
This is your Aid to Assets.
So we have so many myths that are going on about the stock market. And one of them is you got to be rich to get in it, versus maybe you can become rich by being, right? So let me give you an example. Okay. You've heard of Ford Motor. All right. So Ford Motor, big, it's $1 billion company, right? And how much you think their stock costs? $1 billion company. And by the way, stock, all it is a slice of ownership in that company.
Right.
So if you wanted to get one slice of ownership in this $1 billion company,
Gotta be a couple $1,000.
couple thousand, right?
Yeah.
Last time I checked, it was $13.
Stop playing with me.
This is what we don't know. I'm not recommending that. I want to use that as an example.
Yeah.
Stocks come in all different price ranges,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So we got no excuse.
Okay.
We got no excuse.
So I can technically be part owner of a business because I have a piece of their stock.
Let me tell you a funny story.
Okay.
All right. So let's say that we're at a speed networking event. All right. And let's say, what do you do? And then you say, what do I do? So
Okay.
go ahead and ask me what I do.
What do you do?
You know, I'm one of the owners of Apple. Now, see, if your girlfriend was with you and you didn't know what you learned today, as soon as I turned, you'd be like, girl, he up here lying. They lying, talking about you, one of the owners of Apple. But if you own one share of Apple, you are technically one of the owners. And you legally can say, I want to own this Apple.
Right.
Now, you can't stomp up into Apple talking about,
making demand.
but well, if you have enough shares, you can. But now we're one.
Right.
Wait, we can get started just like we buy anything else and let it accumulate and accumulate and accumulate.
Okay.
So this myth, we got to get rid of this myth that you have to have all this money.
Yes.
I say, get in where you fit in. You got $50, you got 100, you know. But first, get educated.
Right.
First, get educated, and then you'll understand how this process works.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am here at my newest listing, getting ready to hit the market, doing a little listing prep. One of the things about having me as your realtor is you do not have to try to figure things out on your own. I come in and we do an actual assessment of your home to see what needs to be done. Now, this can be light things, cleaning, staging, or it can be all the way up to any renovations that were going to make you money. Now, let's be reminded, all renovations are not created equal. And so there may be things that you think you need to do in order to sell your home that actually isn't going to make a difference in your profits. That's why you want a professional on your team to be able to let you know what are the money-making changes that you can make and what are the things that we can negotiate later. So if you are thinking about selling your home, I would be more than happy to be your trusted partner along the way. Can't wait to see you at the closing table. Bye!
Now, one of the things that you mentioned on stage was having a strategy. We needed to know what is the goal that we
Right.
want to achieve. What questions should we be asking ourselves
Right.
to even start to Think about that.
Well, first and foremost is, okay, do I want to be an investor or a trader? Investor for long term, trading for short term. So let's say you want to be an investor. All right. One of the things we're going to look at is, what is your age? How long do you want to hold the money? If you're 75, right, you probably don't have as much time as a 20 or 30-year-old, right? So you got more time. An older person might want to take more safe investments, where a younger person might say, hey, I'll take more risky because I got time if it doesn't work out. Or let's say you're whatever age and you say, hey, I want to learn how to trade because I want to learn how to generate income daily, weekly, monthly, or at least have the opportunity.
Right.
So those are some of the questions that you asked.
Love it. Okay. Last question. Looking
Yeah.
back,
Mhm.
what would you tell your 25-year-old?
I would tell my 25-year-old self, get in the market back then.
Get in the market.
See, I didn't get in it back then.
Okay.
So I learned all this stuff later in life.
Really?
Yeah. So anybody who's older, it's never too late.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I would say, and I would just want to say it like this, damn it, I should have got in that market earlier because Amazon wasn't around, Google wasn't around, Facebook wasn't around. Could you imagine if you got in back then? But there's always some new companies coming out.
Right.
It's going to be the new Facebook, the new Google, the new whatever.
Absolutely.
So I tell people, don't say I'm too old. Don't say I'm too young. Don't say I'm middle-aged. I could just find a way to get in, right?
Love
And
it.
that's what we do.
Okay. Tell the people where they can find, they can get educated so
Okay.
they can get in the game.
All right. So you can go to flipthatstock.com, flipthatstock.com, and they can watch some short videos we have that describe flipping stocks. We actually created a game where we were featured in Black Enterprise.
Oh, wow.
And this is to teaching people how to trade options.
Okay.
And then I created this new shopping mall, right? So the concept is we are massive consumers. We know how to shop on Amazon. So I took that whole concept and created the shopping mall, except when you shop in this mall, you're shopping for ownership. And it's the same steps that you use over in Amazon, except when you shop here, you're buying ownership.
I love it.
So that's what we're doing.
I love it. Thank
Right.
you so much for the
been
information
a
that
pleasure.
you shared.
When I left the church, I took an old post office building and gutted it out and turned it into office space, studio space, trading space, and stuff.
Love it. Okay, so I want to talk to you first a little bit. You started pastoring, but you have branched into this financial literacy space.
Right.
Oftentimes, outside from telling us to tithe, we don't have a lot of finance conversations in the church. What's more?
I was there 30 years. We built a new church. We built housing. We built a health clinic. We built a senior apartment building. So the institution was doing well. But what I observed on various levels was that the members themselves were still living paycheck to paycheck. They were doing okay. The church as an institution was great because we had so many people. But when I looked family by family and individual by individual, I realized folks were living the same way I used to live, using credit, driving nice cars, having no emergency savings. I had to change my ministerial priority and focus on finances, starting with debt.
Speaking of debt, you mentioned there were some core things that we needed to focus on. I believe you called them the 3Ds. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, financial freedom for me can be summarized by looking at 3 bad Ds and 3 good Ds.
Okay.
The bad Ds are debt, delinquencies, and deficits.
Debt, delinquencies, and deficits.
That's right.
Got it.
Using credit as though it's income, paying bills late, being disorganized, and living above your means. You can fix those 3 things. You'll have money to put in your own deposit account. You'll have money to invest to earn dividend, and you'll own real estate and other assets and have your name on the deed.
Okay. So if I'm someone where I'm just getting started and I am on this journey of becoming financially free, what do I need to be doing to lay that groundwork?
Are you looking to purchase a home in the next 6 months to a year? Before you get too deep into your home search, first thing you should do is get pre-approved by a lender. Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I am a local area expert here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I would love to help you find your new home. First things first, I can connect you with preferred lenders that can tell you how much home you can afford and what programs you qualify for, so less money is coming out of your pocket. Even if you're not in the North Carolina area, I can still connect you to a lender that can help you and then connect you to a realtor that will get you into your new home. Hit the link in my bio, or you can send me a message today so we can set up a time to talk about your home goals. Can't wait to see you at the closing table. Bye.
What's interesting is that we do have a 12 steps process.
Okay.
And the first 3 steps are level 1, get started. And to get started, you have to identify the problem. You have to, what is the problem? Is the problem spending? Is the problem lack of budgeting? Is the problem health care bill? Problem divorce? Being left with debt? So you look at the problem, you have to identify your wants from your needs. You have to look at what you're spending money on. Find your spending leak. Where is money going that it doesn't need to be going? So that you then can go to level 2 and that's get control.
Okay.
With a strategy to pay down debt, a strategy to close your spending leaks, a strategy to protect your assets. Then the third level is get ahead. How do you increase your income? Because after all the budgeting and saving you want to do, you need money. And there are opportunities to make money. So how do you monetize your gift and your talents and your hobby? Get ahead. How do you protect your assets? How do you use insurance as an asset that benefits you even before you die?
Right.
These are all things that you want to learn. And then level 4 is give back. I'm not trying to make people rich so that they can just be show off.
Right.
We want to give back. Give back, one, by teaching people what we learned. Giving back by giving time, giving financial support to our institution. So it's a curriculum. We've got a book and a workbook. We've got an online academy that people can go through the process for free. 12 steps to financial freedom.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, one last question before we wrap up. One of the things that we hear often is people who, when they are living paycheck to paycheck, it's definitely that scarcity mindset where they want to keep everything. They just don't see how they can get out of this rat race. Advice do you give someone to help them shift to more of an abundant mindset?
If I can go from where I was to where I am, anybody can do it. I lived that way.
Really?
I thought that was a lifestyle. I thought everybody did it that way. But the fact is, when we look at people, for instance, there's a woman that I write about in my workbook who was a custodian at a college. And when she died, she left the college $1 million.
Wow.
So it is a mindset. It's a mentality. You have to have goals, and then you need help in developing a strategy. Here, Black people, we have strategies for protest. We have strategies for politics, but we don't have financial strategies on a personal basis to get from where we are to where we have to be.
Okay.
So immigrants come here with a strategy.
Right.
And I think the trauma of historic racism and the drumbeat of negativity causes us to feel like we can never do better. And that's where faith comes in. Faith makes us believe we can do better, even though the path is not obvious.
Absolutely. Thank you, Reverend, so much for your time. Tell the people where they can find the course, the book, the program, all the things so they can tap in.
Yeah, go to dfree.com. That's DFREE.com. And you can find access to everything we do and everything we have. All of my books, all of my courses, all of my events, dfree.com.
D3.com. There's no excuse. The resources are there. The tools are available. Now it's on us to execute. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you for tuning in to another insightful episode of Aid to Assets. Remember, your journey from 9-to-5er to successful real estate investor is within reach. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep investing in your future. If you'd like to know more, connect with me on Instagram at Aid to Assets. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Until next time, happy investing.